Johnny Somali is officially cooked. His trial in Korea has finally begun, and Johnny started it off in the absolute worst way possible. He got drunk and potentially high the night before the court hearing, and then showed up an hour late to court the next day.
When I go to the judge tomorrow and say, "Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm mentally ill. I don't know what's going on. Please help me. I am a psychopath. I plead mentally insane." And they say, "Okay, go home with a fine of $500. What is this gonna say?"
After finally showing up, he continued to be disrespectful and obnoxious. According to Legal Mindset, who attended the trial along with Johnny Somali's #1 hater, Atozy, when Johnny walked into the courtroom, he turned to Legal Mindset and stuck his tongue out at him. Nobody was amused. Least of all, Johnny's lawyer, whose lifespan is probably significantly shortened after this stressful trial. Johnny was told to take off his MAGA hat 3 times before the bailiff finally took it off for him. He also refused to take his hands out of his pockets when addressing the judge, which is extremely disrespectful in Korea. Just as a side note, the judge will be the one deciding his punishment in this trial. There will be no jury. Legal Mindset shared in a stream that the judge did not hide his disdain for Johnny and his antics. When asked for his address, Johnny could barely give it. When the judge then asked him for his apartment number, Johnny said he couldn't say it in Korean. The judge said, "It's fine, say it in English." But even that proved too difficult for Johnny. The judge looked at him like he was stupid. Even crazier is that after this exchange, Johnny lied in court and tried to convince the judge that he was a student. Needless to say, nobody believed that. But the stupidity doesn't end there. Johnny is currently dealing with 4 charges and has pled guilty to the first 3. The 4th charge was a surprise bonus that even Johnny's lawyer didn't know about until it was brought up in court. Because of that, the hearing was postponed and a new trial date has been set on April 9th. Here comes the crazy part though. Johnny is actually facing 5 charges currently. The 5th charge has to do with the possession and possible distribution of a deepfake, which in Korea is a very serious offense. The reason why Johnny is currently not facing trial for that 5th charge is because it actually happened in a different part of Seoul, and will therefore be handled in a courthouse in the east of the city after this trial is over. The reason it's not looking too good for Johnny is that by the time he'll face the trial for the 5th, and potentially most serious charge, he will be a convicted felon and thus will be punished more severely. And remember how we said that the possession of deepfakes is a very serious offense in Korea? Well, so are drugs and pills. You see, Johnny, in his strong belief that he's invincible, mentioned in his crash out stream before the trial that he was on drugs. He also called the judge corrupt and said that he will not be following court orders. And guess what Legal Mindset is doing with that info?
Send that to the prosecutor.
We will, Johnny. We will. Don't you worry, little buddy.
At this point, it's become apparent that the Korean courts want to make an example out of Johnny. Legal Mindset mentioned how Johnny's court hearing attracted a media frenzy and has been receiving extensive coverage in Korea. Everyone despises him for his antics. It's also very clear that this process will be a lengthy one. Even if Johnny ends up getting only a few years of jail time, the amount of time he'll be stuck in Korea awaiting more court hearings and more filed charges will be immense.